Then we'll come to item 4 on the agenda, which is the West Sussex Youth Cabinet update, and that's on pages 7 to 10 of the agenda pack. And I'd like to welcome and invite Reema, again the Chair of West Sussex Youth Cabinet, to introduce the report. And over to you, Reema.
Thank you, Paul. My name is Reema. I'm Chair of the West Sussex Youth Cabinet. I'm here to give you all an update on what the Youth Cabinet has been up to, what we've done. And there have been some updates that I've put in here myself, so I think I'll just get straight into it then. So our first campaign is the Youth Safety Campaign. So the Youth Safety Campaign centres centres on creating safe communities for young people and reducing youth crime. The aim of the campaign is to ensure that young people are being heard in regards to their safety, that they are wholly informed about resources to keep themselves safe, and to build trust with local authorities and generally feel overall safer. So a survey has been created to gather insights from young people across West Sussex regarding their safety concerns, specific areas where they feel vulnerable, and suggestions for improvement in their local area. And the Youth Cabinet are working with Sussex Police, and we have a representative attending our February meeting in order to discuss support around stop and search. We're also attending independent advisory group meetings and to give the input of young people. The campaign uses social media to post information on where young people can get help that they need and raise awareness at key points during the year, such as during Anti-Bullying Week. And podcasts have also been created and will be uploaded on all West Sussex platforms this week. Our next campaign is Youth Equity. The goal of this campaign is to increase awareness around discrimination and provide support for those affected living in the West Sussex area, as well as showcasing where support can be found with comfort and understanding for those who experience it. So the Youth Cabinet is continuing to develop the Racial Ambassador Scheme, which has successfully been established in schools. This scheme is where young people in various schools champion equality in relation to race, religion, culture and ethnicity, opening a room for conversations within schools and young people actively being involved with creating schooling spaces that are accepting for all. The project initially began in 6 schools and now has rolled out to further schools across West Sussex, and the next stage is to introduce this scheme into primary schools. A podcast episode has been recorded and is accessible on all West Sussex platforms around SEND, highlighting SEND, what it is and how it can affect young people. Along with things being released, we also have posters that have been created and are due to release on the 9th of December following approval. And as part of the campaign, the Youth Cabinet do plan to host an in-person event in 2025, as we would like to include our junior racial equality ambassadors, which will include a panel of speakers and presentations on this topic. And our next network meeting would be in March, where we'll be looking at the rebranding that will be created during now and March. And our next campaign is the Environment Campaign. In this campaign, the main aim is to raise awareness about environmental issues that affect our planet and to encourage young people towards sustainable green solutions. This campaign is one of the Make Your Mark topics and also one that the Youth Cabinet has decided to continue from last term. We currently have ongoing contact with 3 schools within West Sussex, Arundel School, White Meadows Primary Academy and Chichester Free School, to gain relation with environmental councils and understand what it is that our constituents want and how they can get involved with us to improve our environment together. Emails have gone out to local businesses in order to discuss creating podcasts with them, in hope to inspire other businesses within West Sussex and create awareness about sustainable products and sustainable practices. Newsletters have been made and are underway to be released to schools and to be released on all West Sussex platforms. And a member of the West Sussex County Council Sustainability attended our campaign day in October. We've also engaged with Councillor Urquhart and are in discussion to plan a visit to the Ford Waste Management site. And a member from the Waste and Recycling will be visiting us in our January meeting. And finally, the Mental Health and Wellbeing campaign. So this campaign was voted the highest in 2024, Make Your Mark. The Youth Cabinet and MYPs are aware of the increased level of young people that are seeking support for mental health. So a survey has been created and is available on all platforms with questions such as, do you know where to seek support if you need it? How helpful is your school in supporting your mental well-being? Does your school have mental health ambassadors? And a series of Instagram skits and social media content has been created. It approaches mental health topics in a light-hearted and relatable way, encouraging young people to engage and reflect on their own well-being. And we supported the Public Health with survey. It was for the school health check. They've also created posters that have been released on West Sussex platforms and are also releasing regular podcasts with the most up-to-date podcast around mental health and phone usage or social media usage. And that's my update of all the campaigns. And I understand the importance of connecting and working closely with everyone here. And so I just want to say thank you to Jackie Russell for your support and for our regular meetings that we have. And we are also planning to hold a surgery with our lead campaign members to introduce the campaigns and also to look at the areas that maybe you guys can support us. So I do invite you all to come along to that. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Reema. And we welcome the opportunity for engagement as well going forward, as we did with the previous term of the Youth Cabinet. Were you on the board? Were you on the Youth Cabinet before? So this is your new appointment then that took place in March. So welcome. And also being voted chair as well. So thank you for that. Could I please go to Councillor Jackie Russell?
Thank you, Leader. So firstly, congratulations on behalf of us all to Reema for becoming the chair of the Youth Cabinet, and to thank her for presenting her first report to the Cabinet today. I sort of sat here reading it and listening. And, I've been in this position for 5 years, and it's just interesting to see that the campaigns that are central to the Youth Cabinet have actually remained unchanged over 5 years, which is really indicative of ongoing concerns our young people have, particularly with respect to their safety, where I vividly remember a debate in 2019 around the concerns with respect to knife crime. So I'm really pleased to see they are continuing to work with Sussex Police on this. On the Youth Equity campaign, it's good to see the Racial Ambassador scheme is growing, and I'm particularly pleased to see that they are taking an interest in SEND by creating podcasts, because this is something, it's also an area of growing concern, and it affects many, many, many families. With respect to the environment, I think the only thing I didn't see in the report was anything about beach cleans, but I might have missed it. But it is good to see that that is still very central in the Youth Cabinet's campaigns. Building the relationships with schools and engaging with local businesses, I think is new, but it's good to see that they have touched base with Councillor Urquhart, and they will get a visit to a waste management site. And on mental health, I suppose it doesn't surprise me that it was the highest ranking campaign in Make Your Mark. It's very, very at the forefront of many young people's lives. So I'll be particularly interested to see the output from the survey, which the Youth Cabinet are due to release shortly, in terms of whether young people are aware of where they can go for support. As we do, as I've explained to Reema in the past, have our own multi-agency mental health support triage that goes into all secondary schools, and also a number of primaries at the Year 6 transition stage. And it's about to go into further education establishments in the new year. And I've also suggested that it'd be worthwhile for the chair of the Youth Cabinet to arrange for a member of our award-winning Children's Mental Emotional Health team to attend one of the Youth Cabinet meetings to talk a bit about how the local authority works in partnership with our NHS partners to support young people and their mental health needs. And just to close, I would encourage the Youth Cabinet to touch base with members of the Cabinet, particularly those that oversee the areas where their campaigns are positioned. So that is communities, public health, environment, alongside children's, which is obviously mine. And I'd still like us to look at ways that the local youth cabinet member can actually link in with their local elected member, which is something I will be taking forward with Reema. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Russell. I've got a number of cabinet members who would like to come on to comment on this. So can I please go to Councillor Bob Lenzer?
Thank you, Leader. I cover the public health and wellbeing portfolio, and thank you, Reema, for your report. As Councillor Russell says, it's good to see how well selected these campaigns were in the first place, the fact that they're enduring and still relevant, all four of them, and still being actively pursued. On the mental health and wellbeing, I think it's great to continue that campaign, and as noted in the report, to make strong efforts to reduce any stigma associated with declaring and talking about mental health issues. And also, like Councillor Russell, I'll be interested in the results of the survey that you're conducting with young people, and I'm happy to help in any way with my officer team following the output of that survey. I just mentioned to you as well that we are, as a council, refreshing our joint local health and wellbeing strategy, and there are 5 priority areas in that, and I'll mention 2 which I think can touch on the mental health and wellbeing report that we've just heard. And one of them is food and nutrition, which we do consider to be quite a hot topic, and another is transitioning into adulthood. And I noted Reema's comments in addition about the social media, and we as elected members, we run a social media course here for ourselves, and also you mentioned mobile phone usage, and sometimes I do pick up that a lot of people of all age groups perhaps spend a little bit too much time on screens sometimes, and engage with social media. So I think it's a really hot topic within mental health and well-being to pursue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Lanza. Could I please go to Councillor Jeremy Hunt?
Thank you very much, Leader. Yes, I'm a local member here for Chichester North. I'm also the Cabinet Member for Finance, which doesn't seem to attract a lot of interest from the Youth Cabinet. I can't understand why. But actually, a thought came to me actually while I was sitting listening. We talk about mental health and things, and one of our biggest challenges across the schools is the special educational needs. We have huge demands, a huge overspend on special educational needs. And I'm just quite interesting if the Youth Cabinet ever sort of discussed what they feel they would like within schools to support these children. And it's quite an interesting thing perhaps to take forward, thought for the future. And I'd welcome your writing to the government to plead for more money. That would be very helpful. My main question was really around school representation. And I was concerned in the South we didn't seem to have a lot, but I'm pleased to welcome Baxter here this morning. It came about because I was talking to one of your members at the recent Youth Cabinet meeting we had here, and she comes from a school in the South, and she was saying there seemed to be some resistance from her particular school about having an election, about having a representative on the Youth Cabinet. And I was just interested to understand perhaps, do you find schools across the county welcome this, or do you have some resistance from some schools, and how do you go about talking to schools about what the work you do and the value of the work you do?
Okay, thank you, Councillor Hunt. So I'll go to Councillor Deborah Urquhart, and then I'll return back to Reema for any comments or observations she wants to make. Thank you.
Hi, Reema. And I'm very pleased to work with the Youth Cabinet, and I know my teams are working with you in terms of climate change and waste. And we do have a waste educational programme and work quite closely with a number of schools. So it'd be useful if we can work closely with the Youth Cabinet so that we can feed your views into the programme in a wider aspect. And I'm really pleased that you're going to take up the offer to visit the recycling plant. I think you find it fascinating. The science behind how it all works is absolutely amazing. I was interested to pick up that you're contacting or want to contact local businesses and do podcasts and things of that nature. Our economic team have got contact with businesses and business champions for climate change under the Let's Go Net Zero campaign, and have lots of little videos. So I'm sure they'd be more than happy to work with you and make those contacts so that you can, reach a much wider audience with your campaign. And I'm sure the businesses will, just love to get involved with yourselves. So, well done. And I'm sure that there'll be lots of work ahead, lots of challenges.
Lovely, thank you, Councillor Urquhart. And so we'll put you in touch with the Senior Officer, Carolyn Carr, who oversees this, the economic development within the county, and in particular a number of our programmes promoting green industries and Let's Go Net Zero and so forth. So that would be really useful. So Reema, what I'd like to do is come back to you for any closing comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all the comments as well. They were really insightful. I think that our environment campaign members would absolutely love that information. Just sitting in their own little meetings, I can tell how passionate they are and how much they want to get involved with all of you guys as well. So I think they'd love that. And regarding the southern members, so we have filled all our spots in Youth Cabinet. We've got 2 available, sorry. But I think we are thinking about releasing, me, Baxter, and along with another one of our members, Amberley, we are thinking of releasing a podcast just about what Youth Cabinet is. It's kind of like a in-depth version of our constitution, just so that we can really reach out to those southern-based members. So we understand that you might think that they're not represented enough, and so we're really hoping that this will reach out to them, get them involved, and schools can even listen to this. They can get involved as well. They can listen to this. So we're hoping that will happen. And also regarding beach cleans, again, we had a meeting last night, and one of the things that was brought up by the environment lead was that they want to do town cleans, and then in the summer they want to do beach cleans as well. So we are thinking of planning this and hopefully pushing it forward, but we will hopefully be planning that soon. And yeah, thank you all for the feedback. I really appreciate it. I also really appreciate just being here. Thank you for inviting me along to this meeting. And I think that working with all of you guys would just benefit our cabinet a lot more. And even though I've been in this position for only 9 months, I think that I'm so proud of how much the cabinet have done, and I cannot wait for all the many months ahead, and I hope to see you all there with us as well. Thank you.
That's lovely. Thank you very much, Reema, for those kind words as well. I'm going to go to the recommendations, and as the Cabinet endorses the following recommendations that sets out on page 7 of the report, and I'll read it out. Cabinet is invited to receive the update and the Youth Cabinet's comments, and is asked to consider and advise on the benefits to the Council and its residents of the work of the Youth Cabinet, and where it can offer counsel and support. Can I ask Cabinet to note the discussion points, and that Cabinet members will continue to work with the Youth Cabinet? Okay, thank you. So can I also thank Angela Blackwell, who's here as well, who's offering support for the Youth Cabinet. So thank you for that. So Reema and Baxter, you're more than welcome to continue to stay in the meeting, or you're more than welcome to stay. I'll leave that with you, but thank you very much.